Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Photoshop with John Mike. My name is John. Let's jump right into the video. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to tell you what this tutorial is going to be about. So since it's the month of Halloween, I thought that I would teach you how to create this amazing composite, how to like carve the face of a pumpkin. So yeah, that's what this tutorial is going to be about. We're also going to include some environment back. We're going to make something like that. Or something like this, whichever one you guys the most. Okay, so the images that we're going to be using are these ones right here. Let me go ahead and just show you real quick. Okay, so it's these three ones. So let's just go ahead and pop them all into Photoshop. Okay, fire. I'll explain the usage of each image later on in the video when we need them. Okay, so yeah, the first thing that we're going to do is going to do the background, which is going to be this amazing forest. We can make it bigger from the center toward the corners by clicking Shift Alt and then making it bigger normally. Just like that, and click enter. Okay, so now what we're going to do, since I want the pumpkin to be somewhat in the middle, like maybe right here, but I also want to be able to see the tree. So what we're going to do is that we are going to create a duplicate of the tree like so, and we are going to move it like where we want the tree to actually be. So let's turn on the pumpkin. Okay, yeah, I think that it's pretty good where we have the tree, and now we're just going to mask out some of the parts, with a brush. 100% flow and 100% opacity. It's good with me. Remember to be black. If you have some other colors, you can click D to put it back to normal, and if you're in white, press X to change the colors. Okay, so yeah, X, I'm sorry, and we're just going to try and delete. Maybe I'm going to make the brush a whole lot smaller. Okay, we're just trying to like blend in the two images. Like, I think that something like that is pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to merge both layers and convert them to a smart object. So now we've got our background ready, and the next step is going to be masking out our pumpkin. So we're going to go to select and to select subject, because I think that select subject does a pretty good job. I don't think that we're going to need the pen tool for this, but what I am going to do is that I'm going to go to select and mask. You can click Alt, Control, and R to jump right into it, like really fast, faster basically. Yeah. And what I want to do is like smooth the edges a whole lot. So I normally do it to 100%. So yeah, and feather it like 1% or 2%, so that's okay. And there we go. I'm going to mask it out, and there we have it. Maybe I'm going to select and mask, and maybe I'm going to unfeather it a little bit more. Okay, yeah, I forgot that we cannot do that anymore. So it's okay like this. Let's go ahead and convert it to a smart object. There we go. And okay, so we're going to make it smaller, you know, to be able to look realistic in the full composite. Okay, and so I think that something like this will probably do. Okay, so we're going to put the fire on top of everything since we're not using it right now. And what we're going to do first, below our pumpkin, we're going to create our first shadow. So go to exposure, adjustment layers, and then exposure. And what you want to do is make the whole thing a whole lot darker. And then we're going to invert the layer by clicking Ctrl I, because we want to paint the shadows that we want to keep and hide the ones that we don't want to keep. So we're going to like make an oval shape. Something like this looks alright. We're going to make it a little bit bigger, you know. And then yeah, let me just make this smaller like that. Let's paint the shadow that the pumpkin creates. So I think that's a pretty good shadow, maybe even more to make it a little bit darker, but it's fine by now. So the next thing is that we're going to make the entire pumpkin a whole lot darker. Since at the end I'm going to make the background dark as well. So let's pin it, exposure darker, and gamma correction as well. Then we're going to create a new one, only that this time we are going to be using it to make it more contrasty. Okay, so we are only going to move the exposure towards the light, and we are going to be using the blend div, and we're going to, oh, I'm sorry, I unclipped it. Okay, but let me cancel, clip it. Okay, and so yeah, double click. Okay, and from the underlying layer, what we're going to do is we're going to move it until it's around 70-80%, and then we're going to move it all back, something like that. And as you can see, we've created like a more natural shadow around the parts from below. So yeah, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create, here we could add another exposure, like one final one, and make it a little bit darker, but I'm going to leave it just like that. And we're going to add a brightness and contrast and clip it as well, and we're just going to make it a little bit darker and more contrast to it. Okay, with this one I almost forgot, we gotta make it darker, and what we're going to do is that we're going to invert it as well. We're going to take our normal brush and we're going to set the opacity to 3%. I know that sounds like it's really low, trust me, because it is. Okay, so here we have our pumpkin, and what we're going to do is make the brush really small, and we're just going to paint in these areas. Okay, you probably can't notice the difference, but I'm going to show you a before and after afterwards. So yeah, we will also go ahead and create another exposure. We're not going to pin it. We're going to put it something like that, and then we're going to invert it. Okay, let me go ahead and move this one below. And now that we've got it inverted, we're going to increase the opacity to 10%. The flow, I'm sorry, the opacity always 100, and we're just going to paint in these areas. Maybe we could go to 30% or so. Enter. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Yeah, we're creating more shadows. Okay, so now that we are done with the shadows and with the pumpkin, basically what we're going to do is that we are going to, first of all, we're going to group it into the pumpkin, since I like to be really organized. And we're going to put the name, enter, and then we're going to create the face, okay, the face of the pumpkin. So you're gonna want to get your lasso tool by clicking L. We're going here to the left side and clicking the third option, which is the lasso tool. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you can create any face you want at all. I'm going to create something somewhat random, okay, like maybe just something with some big eyes, like wobbly eyes. Then shift, do the same. We click on shift to be able to make another selection, and then the mouse, we're going to go ahead and, I'm sorry, look at that. That was my mistake, since I wasn't holding shift. So now that we are holding shift, we can go ahead, wait. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I forgot to do it again. Sorry. Okay, shift, and now we're just going to make something real simple. Something like that should do it. Okay, so here we have it, and what we're going to do is we're just going to create a new solid color, and we're going to put it with the color some sort of an orange. This one is great. And what we're going to do next is we're going to add some depth into it by creating with the lasso tool another part of it. We're going to create like the border parts that are visible. So yeah, we're going to create here selection imitating the one that we had done already. Shift again, let's make it like that, and then shift again, let's just make something smaller like that. And then we're just going to create a new solid color, which can be orange, but it like a brownish color. It just has to be darker than the one from inside. And we're going to want to do something quick right here, which is going to be Control click on the layer mask, and then Control Shift inverse, and then backspace, and then there we have it. Okay, so yeah, so now what we're going to do is that we are going to go ahead and we're going to make it more depthful. So we're going to create a new solid exposure layer. We're gonna pin it. We're going to make it a whole lot brighter. Invert it. The brush tool, 30% is fine. And we're just going to paint over here. Paint on the other side and down here as well. Okay, so that's great. And now we're just going to do the exact same thing for the upper one. Solid color, exposure layer, like so, something like that, and then inverse, zoom in a little bit, and then just paint a little bit, something like so. Then we're going to go Control 0, and it's already looking kind of great. So now we're going to go to layer, new layer, the mode to linear dodge add, and then fill with linear dodge neutral color and click OK. And then we're just going to select one of the colors from the pumpkin, and we're going to make it a whole lot brighter, like this one maybe. And we're going to double click on the icon and make it something like this. This is not like a necessary step, but you can do it if you want to. Okay, so I will put it in a speed art. We're just going to add this fire real quick. We're going to pin it to the first orange, just like that, and we're going to put it to linear dodge add, make it smaller. And what we want to do is to like make the effect that there's a fire inside of the pumpkin. And now what we're going to do is that we are going to create a solid color and put it on linear dodge add, and we're just going to create more glow. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Pan 5. Pan 5. Pan 5.
And then there we have it. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed and that you learned a lot. So we came from this to that. So yeah guys, really hope you guys like it, and bye, thanks for watching.